satisfying click, the tiny, precise keys under your thumbs, flying faster than you thought possible. The red, blinking light, a beacon demanding attention in a simpler digital time. Remember the BlackBerry? It wasn't just a phone. It was an extension of your professional self. A badge of importance clipped to your belt. The satisfying weight of it in your hand. The rhythmic tap 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 composing emails on the go. Long before the smartphone became ubiquitous, it was the first device that truly untethered us from the desk, promising productivity anywhere. That addictive little notification light, the Crackberry effect they called it. Presidents carried it. Wall Street lived by it. For a glorious stretch, it was mobile communication for the ambitious, the connected, the powerful. It felt indestructible, essential. We trusted it with our words, our schedules, our connections. It was the tool that defined an era of early mobile ambition, a physical, tactile artifact in a world rapidly hurtling towards touchscreens and endless scrolling. Remember the feeling of being that connected, that efficient? That was the BlackBerry promise. Picture the mid-2000s. The world was buzzing, economies booming, and in the palm of every serious professional sat a BlackBerry. Born in 1999 as the RIM 850 pager, it evolved rapidly. The iconic BlackBerry 6210 in 2003 brought email, phone, and that legendary QWERTY keyboard into one addictive package. It wasn't just a gadget, it was a status symbol. A sign you mattered, you were in the flow. Businesses deployed them en masse. Security was its bedrock, thanks to the proprietary BlackBerry Enterprise server, making it the only choice for governments and corporations handling sensitive data. The term Crackberry entered the lexicon for a reason. That red LED notification light induced genuine dopamine hits. You had to check it. CEOs tapped out emails during meetings. Lawyers reviewed briefs in cabs. Politicians conducted statecraft from airport lounges. Remember President Obama famously fighting to keep his beloved BlackBerry upon entering the Oval Office in 2009. Security concerns be damned. He needed his fix. That was peak BlackBerry influence. By 2007, they owned nearly 50% of the US smartphone market. Their devices, like the sleek Curve or the powerhouse Bold, weren't just tools. They were extensions of professional identity. The satisfying physical keyboard became synonymous with getting real work done. BlackBerry Messenger, launched in 2005, wasn't just texting. It was a walled garden of instant, free, secure communication with delivery receipts, and those addictive icons, creating a powerful social network among users. It felt exclusive, efficient, essential. The world ran on BlackBerry. They were the undisputed kings of mobile productivity, seemingly untouchable. It felt like their dominance was built to last. But even as BlackBerry basked in its success, a storm was brewing. January 9th, 2007, Steve Jobs walks onto a stage in San Francisco and unveils the iPhone. It was a revelation. A slab of glass, no keyboard, just a giant, responsive touchscreen running a completely new operating system designed for the internet. BlackBerry's co-CEOs, Mike Lazaridis and Jim Balsillie, initially dismissed it. Lazaridis famously scoffed, pointing out the iPhone's poor battery life and lack of physical keyboard. It's kind of one more entrant into an already very busy space, he said. A colossal misjudgment. They doubled down on the physical keyboard and their secure, efficient, but increasingly clunky operating system. They believed their enterprise fortress was impregnable. Consumers, however, were mesmerized. The iPhone offered the whole internet, intuitive apps, a camera that wasn't an afterthought, and a radically different user experience. Google's Android followed swiftly, offering similar flexibility to manufacturers. What was BlackBerry's response? It was slow, fragmented, and often tone-deaf. The BlackBerry Storm, their first major touchscreen device, was a disaster. A clickable screen that frustrated users. The BlackBerry Playbook tablet, launched without native email or calendar apps, was dead on arrival. While Apple and Google fostered vibrant app ecosystems, BlackBerry's app world felt barren and restrictive. Developers flocked to the new platforms. Consumers abandoned the keyboard for the allure of the touchscreen, web browsing, games, and a universe of apps. The fortress walls began to crumble. Corporate IT departments, once BlackBerry's staunchest allies, started allowing iPhones and Android devices, pressured by executives who wanted the shiny new toys. The once mighty market share began a precipitous slide. The Crackberry was losing its grip. The descent accelerated. By 2013, BlackBerry's market share had plummeted to around 3%. Panic set in. They bet everything on BlackBerry 10, a completely new operating system launched in January 2013 with the Z10 and Q10 devices. It was technically impressive in some ways. Fluid, secure, featuring the innovative BlackBerry Hub for managing all communications. But it was too late. The app gap was a chasm. Consumers and businesses had moved on. The launch was marred by delays, poor marketing, and lukewarm reviews. Sales were catastrophic. Mike Lazardis and Jim Baselli stepped down. Thousands of employees were laid off in brutal waves. Headquarters were sold. The company bled money. The once proud brand became a cautionary tale, synonymous with corporate hubris and missed opportunities. Remember the haunting image of rows of unsold Z10 devices piled in warehouses, a stark monument to failure. In a desperate move to survive, they abandoned their own operating system in 2015, licensing the BlackBerry brand to other manufacturers to make Android-powered phones, often featuring the iconic keyboard, but the magic was gone. These devices were niche, lost in a sea of Samsung and Apple flagships. The unthinkable happened. On January 4, 2022, BlackBerry officially shut down the legacy services for its classic devices. The phones that defined an era could no longer send emails, use BBM, or browse the web. That blinking red light went dark forever for millions. It felt like the final curtain call. BlackBerry, the company that once ruled the mobile world, seemed destined for the history books, a relic of a bygone technological age. The funeral bells were ringing. Yet, against all odds, a faint pulse remained. While the consumer phone dream was effectively over, a smaller, leaner BlackBerry had been quietly transforming. Under CEO John Tune, who took the helm in late 2013 during the darkest days, the company executed a radical pivot. They recognized that their core strength wasn't hardware, but their deep expertise in security and embedded software. They shifted focus entirely to enterprise software and the burgeoning Internet of Things. BlackBerry QNX, an operating system they acquired in 2010, became the cornerstone. QNX wasn't for phones. It was a secure, reliable, real-time operating system running unseen in critical infrastructure, in millions of cars, medical devices, industrial controllers, and even nuclear power plants. Their cybersecurity division, built upon the legacy of their base security, evolved into BlackBerry Salons, offering cutting-edge, AI-powered endpoint security solutions. This wasn't about keyboards or blinking lights anymore. It was about securing the increasingly connected, vulnerable world. By 2020, BlackBerry had largely exited the phone manufacturing business, licensing its brand only. Financially, the turnaround was tangible. They became profitable again, focusing on recurring software revenue. While consumers mourned the phone, BlackBerry, the company, was undergoing a stealthy reinvention, leveraging its decades of security DNA in a completely new, vital arena. The name BlackBerry started appearing again, not on store shelves, but in cybersecurity reports and automotive engineering documents. It was a comeback few saw coming, born not from nostalgia, but from necessity and a sharp strategic shift. So, what does the BlackBerry saga teach us about longevity in the ruthless tech landscape? It's a masterclass in both the perils of complacency and the power of adaptation. BlackBerry's near-death experience underscores a brutal truth. No market dominance is permanent. Technological paradigms shift with terrifying speed, ignoring user experience, dismissing disruptive competitors, and clinging too long to what made you successful can be fatal. They were the undisputed kings, yet they failed to see beyond their keyboard. They underestimated the visceral appeal of a full web experience and the gravitational pull of a vibrant app ecosystem. Their fortress mentality became their prison. Yet, their surprising pivot reveals another truth. Core strengths, deeply embedded expertise, can be repurposed. BlackBerry didn't try to resurrect the phone. It excavated its valuable foundation. Decades of security knowledge and reliable embedded systems engineering, and rebuilt from there. They traded the flashy consumer spotlight for the critical, if less visible, world of securing connected systems. The blinking red light is gone, but the legacy of security lives on, in the code, running your car, or protecting corporate networks. BlackBerry's resurrection isn't about recapturing past glory. It's a different kind of relevance. It shows that survival sometimes means letting go of the iconic product to preserve the essential expertise. The BlackBerry phone remains a powerful nostalgia trigger, a reminder of a time when efficiency had a distinct click. But the company's journey teaches a crucial lesson for any business. Adapt or fade. Reinvent your core, or become a museum piece. The future belongs to those who see the next curve. Even when they're still cruising comfortably on the straightaway. The BlackBerry story isn't just about a phone that missed the future. It's about a company that, against the odds, learned to build a new one.